Hello, my name is Tim Wojcik, and I am glad to have the opportunity today to talk to you for just a few minutes about the South Carolina Institute of Leadership and Success. But before we do that, I want to speak to you a little bit about the poverty situation here in South Carolina. When the opportunity exists to talk about poverty or to talk about the South Carolina Institute of Leadership and Success, what we're really talking about is people. So to understand the people in South Carolina, it's important to realize that 1 in 6 adults do not have a high school education. 1 in 6 people here do not have adequate health insurance, and 1 out of every 6 families will change homes this year, and next year, and the year after that. While many of us sit in comfortable, climate-controlled homes with plenty of food, 1 in 5 families in South Carolina live in poverty. In my home county of Lexington, that's 40,000 people that are not having their basic needs met. That's enough people to fill an entire Major League Baseball stadium. So that means in one county, 40,000 people will not have their basic needs met tonight. They will go without things like adequate food, clothing, and shelter. I often speak of poverty as a disease process. So by definition, a disease is any harmful development in a social institution, like a community town or neighborhood, that impairs normal functioning and presents with some specific signs and symptoms. The signs and symptoms typically associated with the poverty disease are things like crime from not having enough money, hunger, and people living in inadequate or unsafe housing. Other symptoms could include decreased school attendance, violence, vandalism, and the list could go on and on. So this disease process looks like this. For whatever reason, a family finds itself in poverty. Children grow up in poverty, and this often results in reduced education and skills, which can lead to struggles to find a job, which furthers the cycle. You may have heard of this referred to as the poverty cycle. What our research has told us is that once the poverty cycle repeats 3 times, it becomes entrenched within that family, and it becomes almost impossible for that family to break the cycle without some sort of help from the outside community. We also know that after 3 cycles, the typical family includes no surviving ancestors who possess the intellectual, social, or cultural skills necessary to change their impoverished conditions. Traditional assistance programs provide things like money to pay the bills, food to eat, and safe shelter. These things are important, and they are necessary. The problem is that they only treat the symptoms of the poverty disease. They do not typically cure the disease or break the cycle. So going back to our research, we have learned that there are 4 core things that help break the entrenched poverty cycle and stop the disease process. Of course, we still have to meet the basic needs, but as communities, we must also provide safe and affordable childcare, support for education of children and teens, career and life skills planning for teens and adults, and financial literacy training. And that brings us to our mission statement. The South Carolina Institute of Leadership and Success exists to provide the tools necessary to empower communities, families, and individuals in the areas of both leadership and success. We provide the leadership skills and the tools to coordinate successful community, family, and individual improvement programs. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn about the South Carolina Institute of Leadership and Success and about how we're attempting to tackle the poverty disease here in South Carolina. If you would like to contact us or follow us on social media, that information is on the screen in front of you.